the 16 countries it's visited around the world, well over 500,000 people have attended Prom Praise. But for the All Souls Orchestra, the place we call home is London's iconic Royal Albert Hall. Every year this magnificent venue becomes home to an amazingly enthusiastic Prom Praise audience. Many thousands from all over the nation who gather for a highlight of the year to celebrate in music and worship and song with the All Souls Orchestra and the Prom Praise Choir under their celebrated conductor Noel Tredynick. The sight of a packed hall so full of colour and light, with orchestra and choir as the centrepiece and the presence of outstanding soloists, drawn from the worlds of classical music, London's West End stage and the international Christian worship scene, all this promises a very special, enriching experience. Indeed, many tell us that for them, Prom Praise is a real boost spiritually. No doubt year after year, it's the reason so many return. But besides the singers and musicians, behind the scenes at Prom Praise, there's a whole army of skilled volunteers, working hard to ensure everything happens just as it should. In fact, in the 40 years so far of Prom Praise, we estimate it's taken almost 15,000 volunteer hours to keep this show on the road. And with 5,500 hours of rehearsal, working with over 12,000 voluntary musicians, Noel himself has invested almost 8,000 hours of baton time to keep this event as fresh and alive as ever.
This organ is in fact the second biggest in the United Kingdom after Liverpool Cathedral, which has got a central nave section. Some parts tonight we're going to be throwing roughly 140 decibels into the hall, which is going to make the circle rattle up there. It's a bit like the cockpit of a 747 with all these stops and pistons, but hopefully I'm going to work my way around it. This is my favourite place on the entire planet. I can't think of a better place to be, and to play this piece here is going to be fantastic.
Hi, well, my name is Jenny Parker and I'm part of the percussion team. I'm all setting up here, as you can see, and we'll be set up in a few minutes. I've been part of the orchestra for 25 years, give or take. We've played here about 22 times, so it's a real privilege to be back, to be able to play here.
We are preparing the video system. We're unreeling all of these cables to connect the cameras to the racks here. And we've got thousands of meters of cable to unreel.
What I'm doing now is I'm working out an orchestral patch, so we're going to have satellite boxes that drop down onto various parts of the stage, and then I need to figure out where I'm going to put what channels to get to the sound desk.
There's lots of people wearing hard hats. I know. Well, I don't need one, you see, because I'm doing girly jobs at the moment, so I'll be looking after like choir and musicians and all the things that go with it, really. So it's very exciting. It's the 40-year anniversary this year. This is my 5th Prom Praise at the Albert Hall.
At the moment we're just running cables through just to make sure that there's enough slack for the performances this evening, and running through some cables for some projectors as well.
We're very nearly ready to just put in the last bit of comms cables.
Does this need what reeling
That,
back up again?
that can be reeled back up now, yep, we found enough splitters, so that's good.
We're putting up the proms barrier so that, you know, people have something to lean against when they come to see the concert. Mainly backstage, we set all the stage up, come here during the day, do it, and at night time we'll do the changeover. Take the orchestra out, bring them back in, whatever needs doing, dressing rooms, anything like that. No, I've been here 5 years. Oh yeah, and I love coming back.
Each Prom Praise starts with many months of careful pre-planning from the Langham Arts team, led by the experienced hand of Janet O'Brien. This includes work on all the practicalities, the budgeting, the design, liaison with the hall, and a to-do list as long as your arm. On the day itself, there's instruments to be transported, and the big and many-sided task of getting the hall ready for action. So setup begins good and early. First up are our great team of techies, on stage and backstage, making sure the microphones, lights and electrics, and all that goes with them, all function perfectly. Front of house teams will be in early too, busy organising programmes and merchandise. And of course the orchestra and choir have to rehearse, and then to be fed, no small undertaking, but it all gets done. Then of course there's the stage management who have to work out how to get everyone, all of them, in their allotted right place at the right time. It's curtain up at 7:30, and Prom Praise waits for no one.
My role is orchestra manager here, so I help set up with the orchestra team.
So what were you working on at the moment?
Well, at the moment we're trying to set up the seats, get the piano into position, get the music stand set up and the music, and make sure everything's all set up before the orchestra arrive for the rehearsal.
Yes, Prom Praise is quite an undertaking, and it is hard work, but it is huge fun too. And there is a fantastic sense of partnership, of working together for God and each other, and enormous respect for the audience to ensure they have a really fantastic time. These behind-the-scenes clips show just a taste of what's involved in the run-up to the performance. They also show what a wide range of gifts are needed, and not just musical. We salute our volunteers. Without you, it couldn't happen. But how to describe the event itself? The truth is, there's nothing like Prom Praise. That's why comparisons are elusive. But there are some musical flavours, like the BBC's long-running Songs of Praise, and the exuberance of the last night of the proms, whose vitality shares something of the energy of the uniquely inspiring Prom Praise blend of music and worship. After all, where else can you hear orchestral classics wonderfully played alongside classic hymns and worship songs, all given the inspiring, full Technicolor All Souls Orchestra treatment? What's its secret as it returns to the Royal Albert Hall, full houses year on year, as fresh as ever? Well, no secret really. Most of us feel the quality is in the joy and commitment, the talent and spiritual dedication of the players of this remarkable Christian orchestra, together with the sheer quality of the soloists, the choir, and the enthusiasm of the amazing Prom Praise audience. Our players, well, they cover the whole range. Music students, music college and university graduates. Some play with some of Britain's major orchestras, while others are simply accomplished instrumentalists or teachers. What binds the players together is each one is dedicated to Jesus Christ. It's been said it's a praying orchestra as well as a playing orchestra, and it is. And we believe God uses this willing prayerfulness and dedication of his gifts as a truly effective vehicle to feed our hearts and souls in this thoroughly unique way. On the night, some of us like to bring our non-Christian friends, as it can blow away forever dull and dusty images of bored and boring Christianity. Some of us return year on year and still find Prom Praise pulsatingly alive, while new generations and newcomers continue to find fresh delight in the mix of inspiration and enjoyment and the fun and humour which make Prom Praise not just a memorable evening, but a true enrichment for the heart and soul. So now, everybody's on stage. Cue sound and lights please. Orchestra ready. Prom Praise is about to begin.